Release that witch. Episode 14. The Ability.
Your Highness, how high and how wide do you intend this wall to be?
15 feet high at least, and 6 feet across the top, wide enough for 4 men marching abreast.
Roland nodded inwardly. A professional was different indeed. Ask the technical parameters first, then settle the construction plan.
Then it needs a trench dug a man's depth to steady the upper works. And with a top width of 6 feet and a height of 15, the base must at least double that. Digging the trench alone will consume a great deal of labor. Your Highness, give me 150 men and I can have the trench finished before the months of demons.
A ditch will not stop demonic beasts.
Exactly so. If the upper wall is laid in stone, it will take 3 years. If it is only to stop the beasts, the wall need not be so tall. 12 feet will do. The width can shrink by a third, the base down to 6 feet. Dig the trench and lay the wall at the same time. With 200 more hands, and I can finish it before next year's months of demons.
Karl paused, then went on.
Forgive my bluntness, Your Highness, but this is not a good season to begin. If the wall is not laid promptly, the finished trench will soak in a winter's rain and snow and lose its purpose. You would then spend even more time and labor clearing the softened trench and digging it deeper all over again.
By your plan, 12 feet high, 4 feet wide at the top, how long would the trench take?
About a month and a half.
Then we do it your way. Trench and wall together, finished before the months of demons. I know what worries you. But first, look at this. The latest work of Grey Castle's alchemy workshop.
He had no time to glue another pair of bricks for the mason, so he simply had the previously bonded pair dragged out for display. Fortunately, few dared question a prince's words. When Karl heard that this alchemical binder called cement could turn from liquid to solid between dawn and dusk, and bond with tremendous strength, his face showed disbelieving shock. A man who had given the first half of his life to the Stonemasons Guild could see at once how great this invention was. Beyond bonding stone, more importantly, it could be shaped at will. Was that not the same as having stone of any shape, with no second cutting or dressing? Throwing out the laborious processing stage would lift the speed of all construction to a whole new level. That alone was enough to set his heart racing. Roland watched his expression with satisfaction and asked again.
Well, do you think 3 months is enough?
If what you say is true, no. I mean, if the alchemy workshop's description of this substance is accurate, then I am willing to try.
His voice trembled slightly.
Excellent. I will have a detailed manual on cement's use written for you. For anything else you need, speak with my assistant minister, Mr. Karl. You are now one of the town hall's own.
He met Nanawa herself the following afternoon. The little girl gazed at Anna in a daze, clutching the corner of her own clothes, and it was a long moment before she forced out a sentence.
Am I dead?
Seeing her for the first time, Roland had to admit, a witch's power granted not only miraculous ability, but somehow changed their looks and bearing. Nanawa and Anna were entirely different types, yet both carried a unique charm. It had nothing to do with age or circumstance. Even Anna, awaiting death in the dungeon, had lost none of her radiance. Searching all his memories, neither the streetwalkers of Grey Castle nor the well-bred noble ladies had ever given him such a feeling. If he had to put it in words, set beside witches, other people looked like figures in a black and white photograph, while the witches stood in color. Karl Vanbert, who had brought her, sensibly took his leave. Only Roland, Anna, and Nanawa remained in the palace garden.
You are not dead, and Anna is alive and well. I am the 4th prince, Roland Wimbledon, and you are...
I am Nanawa Bain.
Hearing she was not dead, the little girl's face came back to life. She ran straight to Anna's side and chatted away at her, entirely ignoring Roland's status as a prince of Grey Castle. Roland naturally would not quibble with a girl of 14 or 15. He sat down by the round table, poured himself some ale, and enjoyed the two witches' daily life from the side. Anna was plainly ill at ease with such instant familiarity. For every dozen of Nanawa's sentences, she answered one. Then again, Anna was only 17 herself, yet she already had the air of an elder sister. Roland could not help wondering, when she grew up, how extraordinary would she become? When Nanawa's chatter finally began to slow, he coughed twice and spoke.
Miss Pine, your teacher tells me you have awakened as a witch.
Compared to the word most people used, fallen, Roland much preferred awakened. He was not naive enough to believe all witches were pure white paper. Give power to the malicious, and they will only wreak greater havoc. It was like a weapon. It could commit violence or resist it. What mattered was whose hand held it. Perhaps the witch massacres the church preached all had some basis in fact, but to take that as proof of guilt for an entire group was utterly unfair. Nanawa's expression froze. She asked in a low voice,
Will you hang me?
No, of course not. The gallows are for heinous criminals. You are not one, and neither is Miss Anna. So do not worry about that.
I am not sure. Teacher said witches are tempted by the devil, and that is how they get their demonic power. But I have never met any devil.
When did you first notice you had become different?
About a week ago, I saw a little bird that had broken its leg, and I wanted so much to help it. And then I felt something run out of my hands.
Something ran out? And then?
It suddenly wrapped all around the bird, like a blob of sticky water. And then the bird's leg was all better.
A healing power? My heart just skipped. In an age with no antibiotics and no modern medicine, where wounds and infection can kill outright, rapid healing is practically an extra life. For pushing civilization forward, it may do little, but for individual lives, its significance is staggering.
He went at once to the door and told the knight outside to find a live chicken. If her words proved true, he might just be able to change Bordertown's merciless persecution of witches.